If a man tells you he needs a break, it may sound simple, but do not take it lightly. Take a listen.
If you was to take a break, is your significant other that you're breaking from, is he allowed to date?
This is what I have a problem with this whole break conversation. I do, because people utilize breaks to really mask a lot of problems that they have within themselves. There are so many people who cannot acknowledge the fact that they just don't have the relationship skills that will allow them to keep building or maintaining that relationship. Or maybe somebody has a fear of conflict, or maybe somebody has abandonment issues and they don't really want to actually lose this person. Or maybe somebody just has attachment trauma that they haven't navigated yet. And so they put this little label right there and say that we're going to take a break. But you're really not focusing on what it needs to be.
Did you catch that? Exactly. Keep listening.
There's a such thing as a therapeutic separation. 90 days is where we typically start. 90 days to see what you two can do separately to work on the relationship. That does not mean that you introduce somebody new, a new experience, a new anything to that situation. That is not what that means. What are you two actively doing? What conscious efforts are you all applying within yourself to navigate whatever subconscious trauma, whatever subconscious behaviors that you have that are causing detriment to your relationship? I can't stand the break conversation because it is simply a scapegoat that way too many people use.
I agree.
I absolutely agree. So let's talk about how you handle such a situation, because this is where a lot of women lose themselves. So if a man says to you that he needs a break, this is what you would do. The first thing you do is pause. Do not show any emotional reaction. No begging, no over texting. You don't need to respond from fear. You respond from self-respect. Secondly, you ask for clarity in a very calm way, not to convince him to stay, but to understand what he's really asking for. If he says because he needs space without definition, that's not a plan. That's confusion. That's not a good response. A high-value woman does not sit in confusion. Thirdly, you set your own standards. You don't just accept what he wants. You decide what you're willing to allow, because a relationship doesn't get paused on one person's terms. The next thing is, you do not go into prove yourself mode. You don't chase. You don't overgive. You don't try to become better just to be chosen. You are not an option, and you are not an audition. The next thing you're going to do is you want to observe. This is where you step back and watch his actions, not his words, because how he moves during that space will tell you everything you need to know. And finally, you prepare yourself to let go, because sometimes a break is not a pause, it's a soft exit. And if someone needs distance to decide if you're worth it, that decision should already be made for you. So don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone who is unsure. So when a man says he needs a break, listen carefully and take it seriously, because you should never sit back and wait. What it really does is place you in a position where you're left waiting while he's deciding. And if you don't understand what that moment truly means, you can lose your power trying to hold on to someone who is already pulling away. Before you chase and before you try to fix it, you need to understand what's really happening here. So let me share with you 7 important things that you need to make sure that you take full control of. Never depend on a man. The moment you depend on someone for your survival is the moment you lose the freedom to walk away from what no longer serves you. Number 2, be financially independent. Financial independence isn't just about money. It's about having the power to choose peace over staying where you're not valued. Number 3, never beg for attention. If you have to beg for attention, you're already in a place where your presence is not truly appreciated. Number 4, know your worth. Knowing your worth means you stop explaining your value to people who are committed to misunderstand you. Number 5, invest in yourself. The more you invest in yourself, the less you tolerate anything that doesn't align with the woman you're becoming. Number 6, don't love him more than yourself. The moment you love someone more than you love yourself, you start abandoning your own needs just to keep them. And number 7, go where you're celebrated. You don't stay where you're tolerated. You move forward to spaces where your presence is recognized, respected, and valued. So if a man says he needs a break, don't get panic. Don't chase him. Don't try to prove your worth to him. Take a step back and remember, while he's deciding what he wants, you should be deciding what you're willing to accept and tolerate. A high-value woman doesn't fear losing someone. She fears losing herself. And if you're on a journey of becoming a more confident, high-valued woman, make sure to stay close because there's so much we're building over here. And remember, we don't chase, we choose. So share your comment in the chat. If a man tells you that he needs time, what would you do? Please like, share, and subscribe because we're building something powerful over here.